Say hello to my subscribers right there.
Hey, we part of the company. We part of that guy right there. It's the best mechanic there.
Yeah, now he's an influencer in YouTube.
Serious. That's one of the best mechanics D&D.
Holmes Law, Codeology.
Sparkle Cuz, I'm here to enforce Holmes Law.
Come be great, man.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? My name is Mel. This is Holmes Law, audio step-by-step 4-point saddle. Okay, so just listen to me and follow the steps, and you should be able to bend the 4-point saddle. Okay, step 1, get your pencil, pad, wherever you're going to write down, just get yourself something to write and somewhere to write down these values. Okay, so write down these values. Calculate, measure, and write down these 4 values, which are the height of the obstruction, the width of the obstruction, the length to the edge of the obstruction, whether it be a box that you're working from or a coupling that you're working from to the edge of the obstruction. And lastly, number 4, the spacing between bends value. Okay, so just write those 4 down, and then right next to it, you're gonna fill in the blanks. Okay, as we calculate them. Okay, you fill in those blanks. All right. So now, step 2, calculate the shrink. For example, if you have the height of 2 inches, okay, and you're bending 30-degree bends, okay, the shrink would be 1/4 of an inch. For 45-degree bends, the shrink would be 3/8. For 60, it would be 1/2 inch, and so on. Okay. Excuse me. Excuse me. So, moving on. Okay. Step 3, take that shrink value that you just calculated and add it to the value of the length to the edge of your obstruction. So let's just say you measured out a length of obstruction of 30 inches and you just calculated the shrink and it's a 1/2 inch. You're just going to add it to that 30, which is going to be 30.5. So you'll go ahead and add that right into the length of the obstruction, and that's going to be your new length to the edge of the obstruction. Okay, just bear with me and follow my lead. Okay, step 3. Okay, excuse me, step 4, calculate the spacing between bends. Okay, and simply put, an example, if the height of your obstruction is 2 inches and you're bending 30-degree bends, the multiplier is 2. Okay, so that would be 2 times 2. Your spacing between bends value would be 4. I'm not going to speak about the multipliers because it's the same as the offset multipliers, and I'm pretty sure you can find that out anywhere else. Okay, step 5, grab your conduit, tape measure, and pencil. Okay, and measure from the end of your conduit. Okay, it doesn't matter which side you're going to measure from. Okay, I'm not sure if you're going to lefty or a righty, but either way, I'm not going to favor a side. So just measure from the end of the conduit. Okay, and go ahead and measure your new length to the edge of the obstruction value. Okay, whatever that measurement is, mark it around the whole conduit. Okay, and put the letter A or 1 right next to it. Okay, please just follow my lead. Okay, if you're not used to doing 4-point saddles too much, you will get confused, so just write the letter A or 1 right next to that mark. Okay, step 6, in the direction back towards the end of the conduit where you placed your tape measure. Okay, you're gonna mark B, which is going to be the spacing between bends. Take that value and from A, measure back towards the end of the conduit that you placed your tape measure for in the beginning for your mark A. Measure back that way the value that you calculated for the spacing between bends. Okay, and you're going to put the letter B next to that one or the number 2. Okay, number 7. Okay, we're going to measure the width of the obstruction. Okay, so we're going to go back to mark A. Okay, and you're going to measure the width of the obstruction value. Okay, and you're going to be measuring that away from marks B and A. Okay, so you're measuring opposite away from those two marks that you just placed. Okay, and you're going to mark that down as the letter C. Okay, and make sure you make these marks all the way around the conduit. Okay, because we're going to be rotating this conduit, and you don't want to, not have the mark, in your sight. Okay, step 8, you're going to, from mark C, measure the spacing between bends. Okay, again, and you're going to measure this one again away from marks C, A, and B in the opposite direction of those marks. Measure the spacing between bends value. Mark that down as D or 4. Make sure you mark that all the way around the conduit, a circle all the way around the conduit evenly so that you can see it when we rotate this conduit when we go to bend it. Okay, now you've just successfully laid out your conduit. Okay, you should have 4 marks. Okay, and now we're going to get to the bending portion. So for step 9, simply take your bender, okay, and put your mark A on the arrow, and the front of your bender, okay, should be facing mark C, and the back of your bender should be facing mark B. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and bend it to whatever degree that you want. All right, and for the second bend, you're simply just going to slide it down to mark B. Okay, and rotate it 180 degrees. Now your mark A should be in front of you, and so should C and D. Okay, you should have no marks behind you now, except for your mark B should be on the arrow. Now you bend it to whatever degree again that you bent your first bend at. All of these bends are going to be at the same degree that you choose. Okay, so step 11, put your conduit, put your bender on mark C, okay, but you're going to turn your bender around so that your front of your bender is now facing mark A, and you're on the arrow on mark C, okay, and D is going to be behind your bender. Okay, so in front of your bender should be mark A and B, and your arrow should be on mark C right now. Okay, and bend it to whatever degree. Okay, and for the last bend, which is step 12, you're going to go ahead and slide it down, twisting it 180 degrees and putting your arrow on mark D. Now, every single bend should be in front of you now, and there should be no bends behind you. And you're going to go ahead and make that bend at whatever degree you've made every single other bend to. Okay, and now you have successfully bent a 4-point saddle. Place it on the floor with your height of your obstruction lifting up off the floor. Make sure that the conduit is laying flat on the floor. Okay, and if it's not and you need to tweak and fix a little bit the two outside bends, which should be bends B and D, then you can go ahead and do so. Either put it back in the bender and bend it a little more so that it lays flat on the floor, or if the outside edges of your conduit are lifting off the floor too much, then you need to take out some of the bend on marks B and D. Usually the inside bends, the middle bends, which are A and C, you usually don't have to mess with those bends so much. It's usually the two outside bends, and those will make it, perfectly flat and level. Okay, and that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Excuse me, the podcast, and I will be coming out with more of these audibles. And please send me a request, and I will be glad to make another audio of whatever band you want. Okay, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Snapchat. Also, we have a Discord community. Just DM me and ask me for the link, and I'll be glad to send it to you. Thank you guys once again. This is Holmes Law, and I'm out.